Good morning. And now for this final project, what we've got pulled in here is a hood off of a 2001 Peterbilt, maybe a 378. I'm not 100% sure. One of my customers has some work that he wants to get done to it. They hit a elk with it and bashed in the front of the grill. So we have to replace these grill pieces. There's some cracks here at the front because of it. There's a big crack right here. It goes all the way through the fender. That was there before they even hit the elk. I need to repair that. Repair the little cracks here at the front. We're gonna go bright orange on the fenders and the same color white on the rest of the hood. And we're gonna put some new grill pieces on it. And here at the back of the hood, on both sides, we have a few issues we need to address as well. You can see right where this comes down and rests on the rubber stopper when the hood is closed. We've got a break right there. We've got a break right there. Got another break right there. And we come down here and you can see what looks like a crack right here that goes all the way down, comes all the way around, and comes all the way down. All the way down to the bottom, this crack, this same crack. And you can see it flexing. See that? And that happens all the way up into here. Again, if you look carefully, you can see it flexing. So it starts right here, comes all the way down, all the way basically to the very bottom of the hood. Then right over here is another crack. So what I basically need to do is strip a lot of this fiberglass out of here and re-prep it and put all new fiberglass in. And then over here, we have some very similar problems. There's a crack that starts here and comes all the way down, follows the side of the hood body line all the way to the bottom, and it flexes. But then also there's one out here that, as you can see, also flexes. So I need to, once again, you see this, strip all this out of there, prep it, and replace it. And then we have a break right here that needs to be repaired. And as we go inside of the hood, all the way to the front here, you can see we have another break right here that needs to be repaired. And you know, that's the thing about work trucks. This is a 23-year-old truck. It's got a couple million miles on it, most likely. It's probably never seen an easy day in its life. So it's time to get it in, get it under the knife, get it all refreshed, get it back out there where it can get back to, you know, eating up some asphalt. All right, so here's the box of parts. We'll see if it's a complete grill or if it's just grill pieces. I'm not really sure what to expect. Well, it's looking like a complete grill. We'll go ahead and get it unwrapped and see if it's the right one and see if there's any damage on it. All right, it doesn't appear to be damaged that I can tell, at least at a glance. All right, we'll see if we can get some of this fiberglass to come up. Oh yeah. Looks like we'll have a certain amount of luck. That just needs redone entirely. Let's see about this side. Well, I got all the problem areas located and prepped inside this hood. Let's have a look at what those are. Okay, first of all, you can see how broken up that is. That's all prepped. 2 or 3 inches on either side of it. That corner's busted up. I removed this piece, you saw that. I cut some of this out of there. This is all prepped, as you can see. 2 or 3 inches above, 2 or 3 inches below. Down here, it's cracked. Prepped a few inches on either side. Prepped a few inches outside of this crack all the way around it. And this crack all the way around it, including over here. Right up here, you can see this is all busted up. I went ahead and got this piece out of there. I just removed it entirely. So I can just put a full fiberglass piece in there and it's got something to grip to. Prepped all the way around it, clear out to here. Same with this side. This didn't need to be removed, it was still fully attached, but the rest of it I did remove. This whole piece is gone now. Prepped all the way around it. Here, 2 or 3 inches on either side. All the way behind, removed all of that. Removed all of that. All the way down to there. Prepped around that crack. And then over here, as you can see, we're going to be replacing this grill, but see the difference in the finish between this and this? This piece has already been replaced before. You can also tell by the fact that somebody got in there and cut those rivets out of there before and weren't very careful when they did. They hacked the fiberglass up pretty good. But I got this prepped. I'll show you. Remove that entire piece and prepped all of that. So that's going to need to be fiberglassed. And as you can see, all this work's taking place on top of this snowmobile trailer. This is the trailer that the hood was brought to me on, and there's a lot of space back here, so what I'm probably going to do is throw a tarp over this back here, put a couple sawhorses back here and a tabletop over here, and make myself a workstation so I'm not getting up and down a ladder 50 times to do all of this. Now I can do all my fiberglass mixing and all my stuff right here, and then just turn right around and apply it all to the hood. All right, I've got the tarp laid down. I got my workstation set up, got everything all ready. I'm going to go ahead and get some resin mixed up and start getting this guy repaired. All right, so here it is the next morning, and all these repairs have had all night to completely cure. Let's go ahead and have a look at what all got repaired. All right, so we've got where this mud flap meets the bottom of the fender here. Got completely repaired. Right around the corner, this was all cracked. All this was cracked. This was missing. I tore a bunch of this out. That's all been repaired, as you can see. It's good and solid. Down here was all cracked. It was also cracked right up into here and across here. That all got repaired. Where this metal piece comes down on the rubber stoppers on both sides got repaired. This was all cracked out into here. I tore all this out. Same with over here. I tore more than 2/3 of it out. It was all cracked all the way around both sides. Over here on this side, same thing. This was all cracked. I tore a bunch of it out. Down here, same as over here. This was all cracked out. This was actually split right here. And over here, this I ended up tearing completely out as well. And now that we've got those nearly a dozen fiberglass deficiencies repaired, I can go ahead and go on to the next step of this project. And that step is going to involve cutting all the rivets off of this grill assembly and removing the grill completely from this hood. And it will also involve removing the emblems and these hood catches on both sides. And now, before I put this grill in a different room, I'm going to go ahead and remove this hood emblem and this hood pull so I can put them on the other grill. And here I've got the body work done, and I'm just going over everything with glazing on the front, the top of the fender, the back of the fender. And the other fender isn't much different. It didn't have this split in the fender, but other than that, it's going to take basically the exact same procedure. And here's the other side all glazed up, front and back. Here's the first side I showed you with the glazing all sanded and ready for primer. And now at this point, I've got all the body work done, the glazing done. I've got the wet sanding primer on it. And now it's the next morning. I'm gonna go ahead and sand this wet sanding primer, get it primed in beige, and then get it painted in orange. All right, now here it is the next morning. Fenders are all good and cured out. I'm going to go ahead and put a line on them with some vinyl tape, mask them off completely, sand all the spots that I had put wet sanding primer on, resand the top of the hood, make sure everything's ready to go, and get the white on this guy here today. at this point, I've got both fenders masked up, and I'm gonna go ahead and get my sander out and sand this entire thing from top to bottom and front to back, and work on getting some white primer on. All right, I've got everything sanded from front to back, got it all blown off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some primer and get some primer on this guy. All right, so it's primed, it's sat long enough to cure out. I'm gonna go ahead and get some white on. Well, here it is the next morning. This paint's had all night to go ahead and cure out. This morning, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and unmask the fenders. And if that goes well, then I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the hood emblems, the grille, the rollers that go on the inside. Everything that needs to go back on this is going to go on it, and this thing's going out the door today. So now we've got the new grill, and I don't believe it's a Packard grill, I believe it's aftermarket, out of the box. And I went to swap over the hood emblem, and the holes weren't in the right spot for the hood emblem. I had to wallow them out with a drill bit. Not shocking with aftermarket parts. Not even that shocking with Packard, to be honest with you. I'm not sure who does the worst job half time. And then I find out that they only included about a third. This is called a bezel, this piece right here. And they only included a third of the bolt for the bezel, and then went ahead and used those third to bolt it on over all of this plastic. So we have to go unbolt the bezel, remove it, remove the plastic, bolt it back on, and then come up with 2/3 of the bolts. And these aren't just bolts, these are either huck rivets with a chrome tip on them, or they are carriage bolts with a chrome tip on them. They're very specific, or they never look right. And they only included a third of them. And then, like I said, bolted the bezel on over all this plastic. So that's one of the setbacks of aftermarket parts. And I gotta say, I'm fairly skeptical when we go to put this on the hood of how it's even gonna fit. We got her all done. Everything's put back together. Got it all tied down. Let's walk around it and have a look. Okay, so this is a 2001 Peterbilt 378 hood. So it's the all fiberglass hood. When it showed up, it had the grille completely bashed in. It had multiple cracks around the exterior of the grille because of it. It had gray fenders on it, kind of a metallic gray fenders on it. The inside was broken in multiple spots, and all of those are fixed. It's all put back together. It's all nice and tight, every bit as much as it was when it was new. This fender was completely broken here, and you can tell there's absolutely no sign of it. No sign whatsoever of the damage that was there. Multiple cracks up in this area. Cracks all the way from here down into here through this little ridge. We put a brand new grill on, brand new aftermarket grill. Got her all bolted back together. Now it's ready to get back on the truck and get back to work. And what you see behind me here is a sneak peek of what we're tying into next. If you like what you see here, take the time to hit the like button. That's going to help me grow this channel. And if you want to see more of what goes on around here, come visit me over at Facebook at Flash Industrial Painting. And if you want to see more projects like this, or domestic auto body, or gardening, or art, or any of the things we do around here, you might as well go ahead and take the time to subscribe, because, you know, we always got something going on. We'll see you guys around.